Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we got a lot to cover, guys. We're making homemade oven baked barbecue ribs with some homemade mashed potatoes, some broccoli, and some fried shrimp. I got this idea from Ruby Tuesdays. It's a delicious meal that they have on their menu, so we're going to recreate it. So we're going to hop right into this video. So first things first, we have our spare ribs that I'm just soaking in some warm water. I put a little bit, like a capful of apple cider vinegar in there, and I just let it soak for about I want to say like 30 minutes. I just put it in the refrigerator. Honestly, I didn't time it. But once you're ready to cook your ribs, you want to cut off all of the fat, the membrane off the back, that extra little fat piece that's on the back. You can actually cook that. It doesn't have a bone in it, or you can just toss it like me. I'm only cooking this for 2 people, so I didn't need all of that. So I just cut that off, threw it away. Took the membrane off the back, and child, I got to cut my nails down because my nails are so long that it was interfering with my cutting skills. My cutting skills already bad, and then, my nails are long, so it was hard to get that membrane off the back. But I ended up getting it off, and then I took all the fat off the ribs. And once you do that, then we can season our ribs. So cut the fat off, cut the membrane off, cut that extra piece on the back off, and then you'll be ready to season your ribs. Okay, so I pretty much got all the fat off. So now we are ready to season our ribs. I will leave all the amounts in the description box below, but it was a lot of different seasonings I used. But for the sake of this video, because we got so much to cover, I'm just going to go through it. I'm going to take that mix that I made, and then I'm going to mix it all together and just mix it all into your ribs. Make love to your ribs. Okay, you want to make sure you get it all up in them ribs, and it should look just like this, the front and the back. But I'm going to leave the mixes of the spices in the description box below, so I got y'all covered. But we about to move on because we need to put our ribs into our preheated 250-degree oven. So I have my ribs on some tinfoil on a pan, and then I'm just going to take some liquid smoke, a teaspoon, put it in half a cup of water, mix it all around, then pour it on in the pan, pour a little bit on the ribs. This is going to give it that grilled taste. You don't need a lot of liquid smoke because it's really like potent. But put your ribs in the oven on 250 degrees for 3 hours, guys. You want your ribs to be falling off the bone. Now we're going to move on to our homemade potatoes. Yeah, I said homemade potatoes because y'all was coming for me and my box potatoes that I did for my salmon video. But your girl can make homemade potatoes. I just don't do it because it's easier to make box potatoes. But let's make these homemade potatoes. So as y'all can see, I just peeled 3 russet potatoes. Then I'm just cutting my potatoes into squares. And I'm just going to boil my potatoes in some water until they are very, very soft. Like you can take a knife and kind of slice it right on through. I really don't make homemade potatoes that often. It got to be a special event for me to do it, but your girl can make some homemade potatoes. So follow what I'm doing, okay? So you're just going to let that boil, and while that's boiling, we're going to move on to our steamed broccoli. I told you we're playing ping pong here. We're going to be going back and forth between a lot of different foods. So we got our broccoli crown, and we're just going to cut that all up so then we can place that into our pot with our strainer, and we're going to let that steam. Just let it go. Put some, you can put about 3 tablespoons of butter, some salt and pepper on you, and set your stove on like a level 3. You want it to like steam, but not steam too fast because you got a lot of food to cook. While that's steaming, we're gonna move on to our shrimp. I told y'all we playing ping pong. We're gonna move on to our shrimp. So I put some cornstarch and some flour, half a cup of each, and then as you can see, some Cajun seasoning. I put 1 tablespoon of that into my flour. I'm pouring some on my shrimp, and then I have 1 beaten egg. And y'all know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bread my shrimp because we gotta fry these shrimp. So once everything is mixed together, you're going to take your shrimp, dip it into the egg, mixture, then dip it into your cornstarch and flour. Do that for each piece of shrimp, so then we can fry our shrimp in some vegetable oil. You don't have to use vegetable oil. You can use whatever type of oil you want to use. I like to use vegetable oil. But yeah, once you bread on your shrimp, make sure your oil is heated up, and then we can fry these bad boys until they are nice, golden, and crispy, because who want to eat some soggy shrimp? So I'm putting my shrimp into my oil. I'm going to let that cook for about 1 or 2 minutes per side. And, I'm going to let it cook on one side, then flip it, let it cook on the other side. Then take the shrimp out, place them on a paper towel so all that excess grease can drain from it. And then we're going to check on our ribs, because at this time, for me, it was 3 hours. So we needed to check on the ribs. All right, y'all, here's the moment that y'all all been waiting for. Let me stop playing with y'all. I know y'all was like, what's going on with the video? But here's our ribs. They look delicious. They are already so tender. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the barbecue sauce on the back first. Cut my oven up to 350 degrees. Put that in the oven for about 10 minutes, and then take it out, put some more barbecue sauce on the front, put that back in the oven for 10 minutes, and they're going to be done. At that point, they're going to look like, seriously, that you cook these on the grill. I don't know how to use a grill, so I try to, take my oven and turn it into a grill. You can't really do it, but that's what I try to do, and it comes out perfect. So we're going to come back to these ribs later, and we're going to go to these mashed potatoes. So our potatoes are done. You see how my knife is going right through? They're done. So now we're going to drain them, and we're going to put them back in the pot, and we're going to mash them all up. And then at this point, the same thing that we did in our salmon video, we're going to do with our potatoes. So I'm going to put 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream in, mix it together, throw in 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to throw in about 1/3 cup of cream cheese, onion and chives kind. And then if that's not enough for you, it wasn't enough for me, I added 2 more tablespoons of butter, and then 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. And then it got to a great consistency. I like my homemade mashed potatoes to be nice, smooth, and like silky. I love my potatoes to be nice, smooth, and silky, and y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. But then you want to add in your seasonings. I just add in some garlic powder and some black pepper. That is it, because you got the taste, like I told y'all before, of the onion and chive cream cheese, that butter. You don't need nothing else but some black pepper. I forgot to tell you, a splash of salt, black pepper, and some garlic powder, and baby, you got some homemade mashed potatoes. Now what y'all want to say? It ain't box potatoes, it's homemade potatoes. I'm waiting. I'll be reading the comments to see what y'all got to say, because these things nice, creamy, and smooth. They're all 3. I want you to take a better look at these potatoes. You can write your name in the potatoes. That's how smooth they are. Look at my potatoes. Look at my potatoes. But we're going to move on to these ribs. We're playing ping pong. Don't forget, we're moving on to the ribs. So now our ribs are out the oven. And baby, you're going to put 1 more layer of barbecue sauce on there. And then I want to show you how tender these ribs are. I didn't even really do nothing with my knife. That's how tender they are. And the rib just oh my God, the rib just fell off the bone. Lord have mercy. They just fall off the bone. But now we ready to move on to our presentation time, because we all know presentation is key. So I got my big daddy plate. I got my big square plate that I got for Walmart. And I like to use an ice cream scooper to put my potatoes on there. So I put 3 scoops of potatoes, take my steamed broccoli, put that on the side of the mashed potatoes. And then we about to bring in these ribs. I plated this plate with 6 bones. And this is the star of the show, so you want it to have its own cameo. So I got my ribs on there, and then with your fried shrimp, you can put your fried shrimp on top of the ribs. You can put your fried shrimp on the side of your ribs. It's all your preference. But once you figure out which one you want to do, you then want to take, of course, our favorite greenery, parsley, and try to just put it on the potatoes. Just put some parsley on only the potatoes, and that's it, guys. really, really simple. Thank you guys for watching. I know this was a long video. But also, let me know in the comments where y'all from, because I was talking to one of my subscribers and come to find out he from Mississippi. I thought he was from Maryland. I'm like, what? You in Mississippi and you watching my videos? I was very really happy. So let me know in the comments where you guys are from, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you wash your hands, and I will see you guys at my next video.